Well, welcome back to my studio. I am working on another one of my little embryos, my baby paintings. And this is a commission based on a piece that I just recently did called Crimson Visitor. And my collectors saw the other piece, they wanted to purchase it, but it had already been spoken for. So I suggested a commission, and once I got to talking with him, he really was the person that he's going to give this to. I guess in the last few years has lost both of her parents. And he said that cardinals are really special to her, that when she sees a male and female cardinal, it just makes her think of her parents. So I said, well, what if we add a female cardinal in there? And he thought that was just a wonderful idea. So that's what we're doing. And I have shown you the piece with the sketch, and I've painted the background. I've got the initial sketch was painted with a mud wash. That is an oil wash, and my mud is a mixture of 2 parts ultramarine blue and 1 part alizarin crimson, and I add liquid into that, and I just sketch my idea up there. And now I've painted the background, and now I'm starting to paint the salvia in here. These are mixes of dioxazine purple plus ultramarine blue and plus white, and then I also have some dioxazine purple plus white, and then I have ultramarine blue plus white. So I have a variety of different colors, purples and blues in these. Just flowers are not, if you look at flowers closely, they're not all the same shade. So these I am painting over my background. My background is wet, and I have to be very careful. I'm just using my brush to lay the paint on there. And you can see I'm wiping it pretty consistently. This is because as I put these brush strokes on here, you can see that I pick up some of the background color. That background's wet, so I have to keep wiping my brush. Now I can just use the corner of this brush to make those flower petals. This is called a bright brush. It's a square-tipped brush, and I really prefer to use these and just practically use them exclusively. Salvia gives a nice upright into the basket of flowers. Breaks the roundness here. So I start blocking these in. The light's coming in from the right hand side, so it's hitting these. We're seeing a little bit more of that purple, that pretty dioxazine purple. That is such a beautiful lavender that I just can't mix. So that's a color. I have a few special colors I use that are just bright, pure, crisp colors, and that dioxazine purple is one of them. I'll bring some dark in behind here so that it's dark, then you can see the light hitting that blossom. Now I'm going to add some of the foliage. The foliage is mixtures of phthalo blue plus cadmium orange plus some white. And I have sunflowers in here. I'm going to bring this foliage in behind those sunflowers so that darkness will accentuate those yellow blossoms. And I'm going to make me a mix of just my phthalo blue plus white. I like to add some of that in there again. The leaves are not all the same either, so I like to add different color variations in there. I'm coming in here behind the sunflower, where the sunflower blossom will be. And then I'm going to have one of my sunflower leaves breaking out behind this flower. So I just kind of paint some of that green in there. And the little stems on the salvia, I'm going to use my maul stick which I hook this over the top of my easel, and I can just rest my hand on that to steady my hand as I paint. I just do the little stems in there. And little seed pods. I'm going to use a little bit bigger brush for those. I guess they're not seed pods, they're little blossom, beginnings of the blossoms. Little buds, that's what it is. They just add a nice little touch. But I've made this, even though it's a commission of the other painting, I want it to be different. And so I've rearranged the flowers a little bit and basically have the same flowers in there. But I've added a little vine in there too, a little bit of a sweet potato vine that gives me some heart-shaped flowers, just to add a little extra love in there. Get these seed, keep the buds in there. Why do I keep calling them seed pods? Now I'm going to show you how I start blocking in the sunflowers. And again, I'm painting wet over wet, so I have to be very careful that my brush stays clean. So I start with, this is cadmium orange plus cadmium yellow medium plus a little bit of alizarin crimson. Just gives me a nice dark in my sunflower blossoms. But you can see how I use the corner of my brush again to get this color in here. And I'm going to go ahead and put my center in there. That's a mixture of my mud plus liquid. And I have to be very careful, gently laying my paint on top of the color underneath. And I have to keep wiping my brush to make sure that it stays clean. I like this texture to be nice and thick and heavy. But you can see how I have to. I've got a pretty good glob of paint on there, and I can just lay it on there. Didn't really pick up too much paint on that one. Now come in here and this flower here. And this one's going to break in front of the female cardinal's tail. Bring some of this dark in. Working from my center out. Now I'm going to come down, but I have to be very careful right here because of that green, that dark paint underneath. I don't want that to muddy up my yellow, see, like it did there. So I have to be very careful. Come back here. And then I can bring my brighter yellow. This is cadmium yellow medium plus lemon yellow. And again, the light's coming in from the right, so then these petals here would catch the light. I'm going to have some white flowers down here, and there'll be some greens in there. That shows you how I start blocking in my sunflowers. I really appreciate you watching my YouTube videos. And please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also subscribe. You can also visit my blog where I show the step-by-step process of this painting. And you can subscribe to my blog. You'll get if you subscribe, you'll get an email every time I make a new post. And then you can follow my paintings. I show the complete step-by-step process of this painting on my blog. And this is a smaller painting, so it's all in one complete blog. But some of my bigger paintings, it takes several sessions to show. I really appreciate you following along. If you have questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments section. And you just have a wonderful, wonderful day. And remember, today is a great day to have a great day.